What's up, space pirates? This is your captain speaking, the dread pirate Dr. Disaster, and today I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects, Star Wars apathy.
Nobody cares.
Lucasfilm and its parent company Disney are on a downward spiral, like a turd being flushed down the drain, and it is amusing to watch as more and more bad news comes their way. The amusement comes primarily from the fact that these nincompoops have been told repeatedly by their fans that the path they are on is headed toward ruination.
Not listening. Not listening.
Well, here's some more bad news to sprinkle on top of the shit sandwich that has been Star Wars 2023. The Ahsoka show, featuring a once beloved character from the popular Clone Wars animated series, has been outdone by the Andor show, featuring that one guy from Rogue One.
Who?
We are going to take a look at an article which showcases the disparity in the viewing data between Ahsoka and Andor. This indicates that the dwindling viewership of New Age Star Wars is getting smaller and smaller. But we are also going to look at some other data which nobody else has mentioned, which really shows what the fans think of the direction of Star Wars.
This is bad. This is very bad.
So prepare to blast off into Schadenfreude City, because it is glorious to watch cocksure morons get what's coming to them.
What did I do to deserve this? I mean, what specifically?
Alright now, before I dig into this article, I just wanted to mention that my Twitter account, or X account, or whatever you want to call it, I wanted to let you know that it is at Dr. Disaster 1. It is just a fledgling account. I get much more political there than I typically do here, but I would love it if I could get a following going on there so that I can interact and catch the notice of other YouTube creators on the platform. Many of you have asked me to do collabs with other creators, and this is one of the best ways for me to get the clout that I need so that such a thing could happen. Once again, follow me on X at Dr. Disaster 1. Anyhow, this article comes to us from Bounding Into Comics. The headline reads, Ahsoka finale viewership clocks in worse than Andor, that was chasing the audience. Now, I haven't watched Ahsoka, I have no plans to, and out of curiosity, I'd like to know if any of you have watched the show. Let me know in the comment section, and if you did watch it, did you like it? Anyhow, the article says, the latest streaming data from Nielsen reveals that Ahsoka's finale had worse viewership than Andor. Nielsen released their streaming data for the week of October 2nd through the 8th. The 8th episode of Ahsoka aired on October 3rd, and it shows that Lucasfilm's Ahsoka series only brought in 575 million minutes. As noted by X-user Mac, this is nearly 100 million minutes less than Andor's finale, which racked up 674 million minutes during its finale week between November 21st through the 27th of 2022. Even if one does a simple calculation dividing total minutes by the runtime, Andor still outperforms Ahsoka. The season finale of Ahsoka had a runtime of 49 minutes. That would mean around 11.7 million people watched the season finale. As for Andor, its runtime clocked in at 57 minutes. That would mean 11.8 million people tuned in to the Andor season finale. However, this calculation is a little bit simplistic and actual viewership is a lot more complicated. It is safe to assume that most viewers do not watch all the episodes. Disney Plus even allows viewers to skip a recap for the episodes. And you know, I agree with this. This is a little bit simplistic, though raw numbers do not lie. What I'd like to do now is present something to you that nobody else is using to show the abject failure that has come from Ahsoka. Regular viewers of this channel will recognize what is on your screen as a Google Trends chart. For those unfamiliar, Google Trends is a service provided by Google which shows you the relative popularity of a search term using their search engine. The service does not show you the raw numbers of how much a term was searched, but it does give you percentages which show how often a term was searched for in comparison to another search term. In this instance, we can see that Andor, which is represented by the blue line, was a much more popular search term during its run on Disney Plus than Ahsoka, which is represented by the red line. This spike here for Andor took place during the week of September 18th through the 24th of 2022, which was the first week of the show's release. And this spike for Ahsoka happened in the week of August 20th through the 26th of this year, which was its first week. Ahsoka's peak only reached 32% of Andor's peak, which tells us that people were not particularly excited about this show in comparison to Andor. Now, I will say this, the fact that people seem checked out of Ahsoka is not necessarily the fault of that show in and of itself. That's why I was asking earlier if any of you have seen it. I believe that the Book of Boba Fett, and especially the Mandalorian Season 3, have absolutely decimated what little goodwill the fans had left, and maybe, just maybe, Ahsoka isn't so bad. Though of course I've heard from plenty of people, plenty of YouTubers that I like to listen to, that the show actually is kinda terrible. But now, if we add the yellow line for the Book of Boba, which was not especially liked by the fans, we can see that it clocked in at about the same level as Andor. The main difference being that you can see the interest level in Ahsoka and Andor dropped off in the weeks following the premiere of those shows, whereas the Book of Boba actually went up in the last few weeks of the show, which is undoubtedly due to the appearance of Luke Skywalker, Grogu, and Mando. Those were the characters that people gave a crap about. Those were the characters that people were relying on to bring Star Wars back. And now, naturally, if you're Disney, you'd like to see the interest in your show peak near the end. You want people to be captivated by your show, but people are checked out. They got interested when the show first came out. They at least had some morbid curiosity. They did a little bit of searching, but then as the show went on, they lost interest. People checked out, and that is not good for Disney. Now take a look now at what happens when we add the search term for The Mandalorian, now represented by green. First of all, you will note the absolutely pitiful drop-off from the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian versus everything else that followed. But also, take a look at the downward trend for that show in and of itself. The Mandalorian tanked hard in its 3rd season compared to the first 2 seasons. People were absolutely checked out after the Book of Boba Fett. People were absolutely heartbroken by the decision they made to put Grogu back in the care of the Mandalorian and remove the Luke Skywalker element from the show. It absolutely ripped the soul out of that show. It seems as if every show, ever since the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, every show in the Star Wars Mandoverse has had a decrease in interest over time as opposed to an increase in interest like the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. People are just checking out. They gave Andor a chance, but Mando Season 3, the most shallow corporate cash grab imaginable, absolutely ruined the enthusiasm for the Mandoverse. I think that Star Wars is done, and when you look at evidence like these Nielsen ratings, my thinking bears itself out. When you look at the evidence portrayed here by Google Trends, it's just clear, plain and simple. People aren't going to pay for this garbage anymore. I wish I could get a hold of the numbers for the Disney Star Wars merchandise sales, because they just can't be good. That's what they were really banking on, of course, is selling the merchandise. That's why George Lucas is this multi-billionaire, is because all the merchandise he put out was gold. People like you and I bought it all up. We ate everything up that they put out because we loved Star Wars, because the passion was there, but the passion is gone. It is all just a hollow corporate cash grab now. And I'll bet that these days, Star Wars merchandise is practically an albatross around Disney's neck. And it is glorious to see. It couldn't have happened to a better company. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.